All right. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Good evening. I'm going to just welcome you all to Real Talk with Cherri. I am very excited. We have an illustrious guest tonight that's going to be talking to you about small businesses, nonprofits, and the $320 billion stimulus package that is designed to help those businesses. And so tag a friend. Share this video right now. I'm going to take a few minutes and tell you some of the top stories before we bring in Congressman Dwight, who has agreed to spend about an hour with you, taking questions, explaining to you what's going on in Congress and more. So tag a friend right now. There's a little bit of a delay, so I'm just trying to make sure that everything is technically okay. And I want to thank everybody who has taken the time to share this video, to share stories that we posted about COVID-19, to make sure that people are getting accurate information, because there is so much misinformation coming from all walks of life on social media, and many of us are not turning to traditional media to get their information. So I decided to come to you guys and bring people to you so that we can disseminate this and get into the fold so that people have what they need to not just survive this new world that's being created, but to also thrive. You know, it's time for us to be ready to step up and to take what is ours. And so we're going to be bringing all that information to you on Mondays, Tuesdays, and on Thursdays right here at Facebook Live. So I just want to make sure that I'm looking at everything that's correct and that this is live. Let me see. There it is. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in right now. I told Congressman Evans I will wait until we got a little group in here. Hey, Alina. Hey, Sonny. Hey, Derek. Hey, Janice. So much. Thank you so much. Again, share this video right now. Tag a friend. Let them know that Congressman Dwight Evans is here. He will take your questions, as many as he can in the hours. So come with it, y'all. This is what it's about. It's about not just surviving, but thriving. Get your paper together. Get your paperwork together. Get your information together. The money opened up today. And I'm bringing a leader to you today. So if you ain't got your stuff together, you still have time, but look, it's a race. It's a race to the finish. So get in here now, share this to a friend, let folk know, I want to get more people in here because we need eyes on this. This is information that you all need. Okay, what's up to Charlena? Hey, Delilah. Hey, Mike. Everybody, what's up? David Alexander, Dave Harris. How y'all doing? Angelo, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, tag a friend, let folks know. And so let me just tell you what's been happening today before I bring Congressman Dwight Evans in. First of all, news you can use, right? Governor Tom Wolf has stepped up. They have created a health disparities task force. I did a story on that today. Word got up to the very tippy top of the Commonwealth that guess what? Y'all not doing a good job. The testing sites are in neighborhoods where people of color who are hardest hit by COVID-19 cannot reach them. If I don't have a car, I can't get tested. If I'm not in the right, profession, I can't get tested. That is not what this is supposed to be about. So guess what? They stepped up. Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman was there. They all said the things are going to change. I'll be watching and we will see. Okay, we will see. They also said they're going to start keeping data. Because let me just tell you something. Nearly 70% of the cases of COVID-19 had no race and almost zero ethnicity information. And so all the information about the Black folks being hard hit was all anecdotal. And it was so bad, shout out to the Black Doctors COVID-19 Consortium. Black doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals rolled up their own sleeves, put their money together, and got their own testing supplies and teamed up with Black churches to go test their own people. That's what had to happen. I donated. Hope you guys did too. I posted it multiple times. Shout out to all the folks from Synergy PHL who held a fundraiser and raised thousands of dollars for these brothers and sisters out here because it's SOS, save ourselves, okay? And so, but there are resources, and that's what we're going to be talking to tonight. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. The resources that are available, because again, you have to save yourself. You have to apply yourself. You have to have your paperwork together yourself, okay? So that's what we'll be talking about. Shout out to Shirley for tuning in. Stephanie's in here, pretty. Oh, we getting a good group now. We're about to bring Congressman Evans in. I'm warming him up for you, sir. I'm warming him up for you. Yafet, Joe, EJ Henley, how you doing? Romulus is in here. So let me give you the other stories. If you, and I'll be giving you some testing information where you can go get tested. There's a 3-day summit kicking off on the state of emergency for COVID-19. I'll be telling you that after we talk to Congressman Dwight Evans. But let me just talk about this. I'm setting them up, y'all. I'm setting them up. So the good news is that we've reached the peak. It looks like the number of COVID-19 deaths are going down. And on May 1st, guess what? Golf courses are gonna open. The marina is gonna open. We might get back to some semblance of normal life, but remember y'all, we're gonna be masking up for quite some time. We're gonna be social distancing for quite some time. Non-essential businesses may not open for a while, especially in southeastern Pennsylvania, but I wanna give you that glimmer of hope. Keep doing what you're doing. We're doing the right things. Those numbers are going in the right direction. And that's why we're talking about how to not just survive this, y'all, because we're going to make it out of this. How are you going to thrive? How is your family going to be set up so that you can not just get through this and be struggling, but you can do well. You can make it through. You can think of something different. We are talking about hope in this new COVID-19 world. That's what we're talking about. And so I just wanted to share that to you. And so we lost a hip hop guy, rapper Fred, the godson, died of COVID-19, 35 years old. Condolences to his family. Condolences to everybody who lost someone to this silent enemy, okay? Shout out to all the survivors though, okay? Because so many of us are making it through. Rest in peace to my own Aunt Joanne, who passed away last week. She was buried on Monday with family, last Monday. And so to my entire family, love and light to all of us. But this is what the work is about. It's about saving lives. And then on KYW Newsradio, top story, got a lot of clicks today. Stimulus checks, they will not be taxed, y'all. This was a tax credit. Information I brought to you, by the way, from Congressman Dwight Evans, when y'all were telling me that this was a loan and it was a bunch of mess. And I came to y'all and I told y'all, and y'all, guess what? You shared it. You tagged a friend, you let people know, don't be afraid, use the stimulus money to keep your family afloat. That's what it's for. It's a tax credit. You will not have to claim it as income next year. You're getting it ahead of time. But if you're getting unemployment, you will get taxed on that and that extra $600 a week that I know a lot of y'all was real happy to get. We have about 46 people in the live. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to Leah, Donovan West in here, Valerie, my mama's in here. What's up? Derek Carter, Derek Smalley, Cameo, Edward, Teresa, Lawrence, Brenda's in here. We have George Miller, one of my professors from Temple, Stephen Scott Bradley. And shout out to the African American Chamber of Commerce. When they heard Congressman Evans was going to be here, they shared it to their whole network. So thank you for letting all the small businesses know that he was going to be here. And now I'm going to turn to this $320 billion. The reason why we have Congressman Dwight Evans here on the Real Talk with Cherri, the reason why I brought him in is because we want our small businesses to thrive. Small businesses are the backbone of America. Okay, Black small businesses hire Black people, okay? Small businesses, no matter who owns it, they are the backbone. They keep us going every single day, and they have been the hardest hit. If you don't sell food or something essential, you are not working right now. And I talked to someone on Flashpoint this past weekend. They are screaming, they are struggling, and they are hurting, but that's what the stimulus is for, to help them get through this tough time. So let's talk about that real quick. The PPP program that dropped last month, okay, the end of last month, it pumped hundreds of billions into stimulating America's smallest businesses. It was part of a $2 trillion effort to save the economy. But guess what? It ran out of money in like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. A lot of business owners got left out in the cold. A lot of Black and brown folks got left out in the cold. 13 big companies, though, including Ruth Chris and the LA Lakers, had to give money back. 170 million, in fact, was given back to the federal government from these companies that were shamed because they took this money. So there have been some changes to this new program. $320 billion, okay? Congress got to work. They made sure that things wouldn't be the same. And so that's why we have Congressman Dwight Evans here. He represents the 3rd Congressional District. He's on the Ways and Means Committee, and he is vice chair of the Small Business Committee, okay? He's the guy who knows the stuff from the federal government, and he happens to represent Pennsylvania. He's been in politics for 36 years. He started in the State House. Remember the West Oak Lane Jazz and Music Festival? Yeah, he made a way for that, okay? And he made sure that that business corridor was thriving. And so I'm so glad he's on this committee. And so I want to welcome you now. Congressman Dwight Evans is here. Thank you so much for being on Real Talk. Oh, wait, I muted him. Unmuted you. There you go. Yay. Welcome. Welcome. You got a lot of people in here, sir. A lot of people in here just to see you. Thank you for being here.
Cherri, thank you for doing this. I'm happy, as I said earlier to you, we got to find a way where people are and take, as you say, the real talk to them. I'm looking forward to this next hour of answering questions. But there's a few things I like to say first. First, when you begin to look at it, I agree with your earlier statement, because I wrote a letter to the governor on Friday specifically about African Americans, specifically to the mayor too, because what happened is in the testing program, we voted $25 billion for testing. That's across the nation, $11 billion for the state. So I raised very specifically the issue about the inclusion of African Americans. And the consortium, I put that in my letter as a Friday. And I said the same thing you said. There is no question that what is happening to African Americans is an outrage and it shouldn't be accepted. That is a priority of the Congressional Black Caucus. Karen Bass, who is our chairperson from California, we've been doing town hall meetings, we've been raising the consciousness. That was something that was a part of the package. So the package was almost $500 million. Over 320 billion relating to a small business, 75 billion for hospitals, you know, when people go to Jefferson, Einstein, Temple, and then $25 billion for testing. So I share with you $500 million, and you're correct. So far, we have spent $700 billion relating to small business. And you're right. The first time there was no question in terms of Ruth Chris, it wasn't supposed to go to those places. It's supposed to be for mom and pop businesses. So basically we did make a change. What did we do? We made sure money could go through CDFIs, credit unions, minority bank institutions, United Bank, others, in terms of trying to get people much more involved. And I'm still pushing. I've been doing a lot of, like we had a town meeting today, matter of fact, with a congresswoman from Ohio named Joyce Beatty. It was all for an entire hour on small business. The NAACP was a part of it. The U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce was a part of it. So we've been doing this every single day, and Karen Bass has been leading this. So that's why I applaud you for having this opportunity for people to question me and ask questions. And, you know, my office is available. Once you get my office number down, everything to people. If they got questions, I will even tell you a woman by the name of Felicia. Felicia Cole is the person who deals with this for me. And I want people to know that name.
Wonderful. And we will, you can follow him on all platforms at Rep Dwight Evans. He's on all platforms. And so let me just shout out a few people before we go into our Q&A. People like to be recognized here, sir. So I wanted to let you know who's here. We have Alicia Mitchell Kinchlow of Kinchlow Law. A lot of business owners in here, sir. Nicole Lassiter, Bernard Taisha, Janae Robinson, another small business owner, Joseph Johnson, Vern Moore, Derek Dandridge, Minx Garrett, all these folks. Felicia Parker Cox is here. Brenda Kai Lammer, I'm sorry I'm messing up your name. Gwen Riley, Steph Humphrey is here. Robert Arrington, Van Brown. You have people from all over the country here tapping in. And so I want to talk to you before I shout out everybody else, because there's a lot of people. Mariska Bokel is in here. Van Brown. And so I do want to just talk to you quickly, because there was a problem with the way the money was given out last time.
No question.
And I will tell you this, big banks have gotten sued, okay? Right. They said it wasn't unfair. What was the problem as Congress saw it? And what about this round makes it different?
Well, what was the problem was that banks was giving it to their preferred customers. That's basically what it's doing. And the key thing you need to understand about this program, that basically banks are not losing anything. This is all taxpayer money. For example, the Federal Reserve has come out and said, this is not going to be counted by banks. That's the first thing. Secondly, it's 100% guaranteed. So the federal government is guaranteed. The Federal Reserve is not going to hold it against you. So the bottom line is what they was doing, they were calling their customers. And they were saying to their customers, basically, this program is available to you. So we didn't want, our idea was not just their customer, we want to make sure people who did not have the banking experience with that particular bank, we wanted to make sure every ordinary citizen, particularly mom and pop, small Black businesses, could be involved. So that's why we introduced the aspect of CDFIs, credit unions. And then we did a carve out of $60 billion, $60 billion targeted. So what I'm saying to you is we're probably going to need to do much more money, probably another $300 billion. I think on all total, it's probably going to take, Cherri, $1 trillion. And the reason I said that, don't take that lightly. These businesses are the backbone. These are the jobs. These are the amenities of our community. And when you look at it and you think about it, these businesses do a lot in terms of keeping our communities alive. When you said earlier about Western Glade Jazz event, this is how I got my start.
We lost Congressman Evans for a minute. I think you kind of went out.
You got me in there now?
But we'll let him come back in here, okay, guys, and as his, hopefully.
Cherri, you got it right back in there? Hello? Hello? Hello, is that back in? Hello? Is that back in? Hello? Cherri, is that back in? Hello? Is that back in? I can see you. Go ahead. I can still go ahead. You say yes.
Okay, there we go. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty, everybody, but we're back.
Right.
I apologize for that. Congressman, you were in the middle of saying the $60 billion carve out.
A $60 billion carve out targeted specifically for the purpose of the minority community, specifically. So the difference is we didn't have that kind of carve out. We now have the carve out. So if you take for example, West Philadelphia CDFI, right? Yeah. They now have the ability. So we targeted to them. That's what we wanted to do. And matter of fact, Felicia Parker Cox, who you mentioned, is the person who works for me, is one of the people on it. So she's my point person to follow through, okay, and to do the tracking down so we can challenge, because as I said earlier, that small minority businesses are very healthy to the welfare of the city, state, and country.
Yeah, and I want to just take a moment to just check for questions and shout out to people. We have a lot of folks joined in, and I just want to say, tag a friend right now, share this video. This is good information. This is accurate information. People share videos all the time of bad information. Share this one, tag a friend, let folks know you got a business, okay? This is information. You need to sit down with a pad and pencil and listen to this and apply for these $320 billion worth of stimulus funds, and make sure you get in here, the $60 billion carve out that the congressman just said. Share this, tag a friend right now. So we have the Lakers, we have Mr. Duckett said that the Lakers just returned the stimulus money back. I wonder if Harvard, Penn, Drexel return their money. As you can see, a lot of people got money, Congressman. A lot of people got money. Brenda says, thank you for your support and helping get information to the people. Thank you for everybody for posting. A lot of folks in here. People sending condolences. They said, Derek Carter says, we help small businesses get funding too. Absolutely right. I saw a question in here. Let me scroll down because it's a lot of comment. For any questions, assistance, please contact Congressman Dwight Evans. Felicia's in here. She got the email and everything on the post. Everybody's talking about the small business development. Okay, what do you think about the bill relief package that Senator Cory Booker, Ilhan Omar, and Tim Ryan of Ohio, and a few others whose names I forgot, are they pushing or trying to get passed? Do you know anything about this?
I'm not familiar. They have to tell me. I'm not familiar with that particular. Let me tell you. See, we get ready to do a fourth bill, and we're looking at money for local governments, state governments, city governments. That's a priority. We're looking at maybe doing another rebate check. That's a possibility. That's being discussed. As you know, people got $1,200. They're married. They got 34, I think it was. And if it's somebody 17-year-olds, they got about 500. So we did that on unemployment. You mentioned there was a $600 added above that. We took care of hospitals, mass transit. SEPTA got over $600 million. So SEPTA got money, hospitals got money, individuals got money. We did a lot. Veterans, we also did about veterans. That was also taken care in the last part. So this one was dealt with hospitals and testing, because you cannot really open up the doors until you deal with the testing issue. And I'm happy to see the governor talked about health disparities, because there's no question in the African American community, that's a huge issue, Chair. And we have to stay vigilant. And I applaud all the churches, E9, Reverend Waller, Salem Baptist, Reverend Mitchell, Reverend Moore from Mount Carmel. I applaud those churches. And I agree with what you said. But I also want to say this to you. Senator Art Haywood, Senator Vincent Hughes, and Steve Kinsey, we've been working together as a coalition along with Sherelle Parker and President Clark. We're collected, because I'm going to tell you something. We are going to beat this. We're going to be, but we need to have people work together. It's not going to be done overnight. I mean, a pandemic. Last time I heard and understand was 1918.
Yes.
1918, the Spanish flu. And we know exactly what that did. So we had a challenge, and we're going to get through it, and we got to work. And particularly in the African-American community, it is a challenge. Particularly, people need to pay attention to the social distancing, wash hands, all those kind of things. Don't take it for granted, because, you know, everybody's susceptible. I don't care what your age is.
Yeah, and we've talked to people who have family members who did not observe social distancing, and their entire household was infected. Entire household ended up in the house, in the hospital. So we're moving in the right direction. But I want you to touch upon nonprofits a bit. We had a question in the live feed, because nonprofits are included in this stimulus.
Exactly. Nonprofits, for the first time under the Small Business Administration, is included. I know some nonprofits that did at least receive it. There's a lot more. So we need to make sure that our nonprofits are very important to the fabric of our community. Nonprofits deliver a lot on social service, social justice, issues of that nature. So I know a lot of those organizations. So under this aspect of the PPP, they're available. There's also the economic distress aspect, that the emergency grant of $10,000. So there's two ways you can approach it. There's the PPP, right, which you heard about today, and then there was $50 billion set aside for the emergency distress grant. But I know I threw a lot of numbers out, and I don't want people to get locked down to those numbers, because at the end of the day, we are doing the things that we need to do to build this economy back up. We need to protect people in terms of jobs. We need to make sure the businesses are there. The hospitals are extremely important. Hospitals total has received across the nation about $175 billion in housing. I mean, in hospitals. And we also did something with the homeless. We did about $4 billion in the last packet for homeless. We did $4 billion for homeless. We got to do more, and we got to keep pushing.
And I know that this money, where is it all coming from? I got to ask you that, because it's like, when are we going to get taxed out the wazoo at some point? Are we just print money?
Well, where's it coming from? I'm going to be very honest with you. Since you may recall in 2008, we had the bottom dropped out. Mm-hmm. And there was a commissioner on the Federal Reserve. I saw him on 60 Minutes. He said what he learned is that we have to not take things for granted. Well, right now, I say we're like in a depression, and we have to make sure. So this money is that the Federal Reserve, which is basically backing up everything that we're doing, right? It has the ability to print money. And it's print money because strategically, we can't continue having these numbers keep go up. So we use programs like the EIDL, and that's the program that deals with grants and loans available to people. The unemployment compensation, the rebate program, all of those things basically, because you really want to keep cash in the economy for the purpose of keeping them active. You saw the unemployment
number. We have to borrow. So the Federal Reserve is going to have to borrow to the extent we don't have it. They're going to have to borrow from somewhere.
In terms of, we cannot afford, we must rescue this economy. Mm-hmm. So we must rescue people from a health perspective, and we must also make sure that there's health in the economy. So I share with you, even though it's very difficult, the fact of the matter is putting people first. And I believe that's why we say testing. Yeah. And it's very important that takes place. Yeah.
And so y'all, America's we taking on debt in order to get us out of this mess. And so I just want to say what's up to Shakira, to Robert, to Van. And what Van said, is there any money for businesses like barbershops? Can barbershops apply for this PPP?
The answer is yes. That's the kind of business we're talking about. Barbershops, beauty salons. The answer is yes. They are very important to the fabric of our communities. The importance of barbershops, the importance of beauty salons. They are very important in terms of our communities. So they are all a part of the equation. And I'm doing this program to bring this message, as you said earlier, take it to the people who most need it. And that's what I want to make sure happens.
And please tag a friend if you know somebody who owns a barbershop, who is a barber, who works at a barbershop. It works at a small business, a salon, maybe owns a catering company, whatever kind of business, okay? They sell socks, shoes, I don't care, earrings, handbags. If they have a business, tag them right here. This is for everybody. And I hope that you guys take advantage of the resources of the African American Chamber of Commerce of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. They are on this feed right now. Pose your questions. I think we have Stephen Bradley. He's the chair of the board. We also have Donovan West here. And we also, he's the president and CEO. So folks are here right now, as well as Congressman Evans has his people here to answer your questions, to connect you with resources, because there are programs that are happening day after day, try to get you up to speed. It says, are there any monies for nonprofits? Yes, he said there are. I will post links. Is it true that student loan forgiveness may be part of the next bill? You talking about?
The answer is yes. The answer is yes. That is one of the items on the table. We're looking at that. We're looking at the issue around housing. Those are two very essential issues. Student debt and housing is also. So look, if we don't address this issue, one way or the other, we're going to have debt in this country if we don't fix it. Because the higher the unemployment number goes up, the less people work, the more it's going to affect our businesses. That means that there's not money for people to go buy and to see things that they need. So I share with you that, we're in a very difficult situation. And this is not something that, we didn't create this pandemic. It's worldwide. Understand, it's not just in America. You could talk about China, you talk about South Korea, you talk about Sweden, you talk about a number of places that has effects. So it's something that we have to recognize, that we in this together and that we have to help each other. So those small businesses are extremely important. Those hospitals, those people who work in the hospitals, doctors, nurses, janitorial people, people who drive the bus, SEPTA, grocery store people. Look at what they do every single day. So we should thank them for what they're doing and what they're trying to do. And understand this, we can beat this. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be overnight. I'm not being rather Pollyannish about it. I'm saying to you, we so far have put up over 2.2 trillion. Just this Friday, it was another $500 million. So I share with you, we're working in every way we can. And the testing aspect is something we should not take lightly.
Because we can't reopen the country. How can we reopen? And that's the big thing, especially urban areas. We know that you cannot reopen the country without being able to test people. And I just want to shout out Montgomery County that tested everybody in the county jail. And so far, what they found is almost 20% of the people are positive for COVID-19, and they still had a couple of hundred tests outstanding. So this is, we don't know. Just because you don't have a fever or symptoms doesn't mean you don't have it. We saw with Reverend Waller over at Enon Tabernacle. So having testing is vital for us to make sure this disease doesn't spread and kill more people.
Well, and also having this kind of conversation you're having tonight. I mean, this is a conversation that everybody needs to have in their household, pass the word, however their particular platform to get it, because we have to begin to raise the consciousness. And we're also trying to make sure this year that people get that mail-in ballot. Because it's important, it's important that people understand that participating in the political process, get the mail-in ballot, vote by mail you can do. The election laws have changed here in Pennsylvania. We're trying to encourage everybody to be involved in the political process because it's essential. Not just because I think it's essential. You only have to look at what's going on in the world. The food banks that we have, we put more money into the SNAP program. Not this time around. Last time we put more money in the SNAP program because of the importance of food. You see how food is being wasted, unfortunately, is not getting to where we need. So the key thing is, please check out the website, Vote Pennsylvania. Vote Pennsylvania. If you check that website out, it will give you the instructions of what you have to do. So we don't want to take, look, Cherri, we don't leave nobody out.
We're going to be hosting a town hall on May 4th to talk about mail-in balloting. So I will be bringing all that information to you on the evening of May 4th. See you right on target, Congressman.
Well, I'm telling you, this is, in my entire career, again, I have never seen such a challenging moment. But I say to everybody is we can beat it. We got to work together.
Yes.
We got to talk to it. We got, look out for your families, for your mother, your grandmother, your father,
we're trying to thrive.
everybody. You got to, you asked me earlier. You asked me earlier. I was telling you about my mom, who I talk to every day. She only
we lost you again.
Can you hear me?
Go right ahead. Say that again.
Yeah.
Go right ahead and say that again.
Yeah. Basically, I was telling you that my mom, who I talk to literally every day, she only lives 5 minutes from me.
Yeah.
So my mom, my brother, my sister-in-law, all of them, and we touch base. And it's important that I stress to people that you touch base with your family, wherever they may be, whatever issues. In this day and age, there's a lot of uncertainty out here. And what we especially know more than anything is it is only through cooperation can we meet the challenges that we have today.
Amen.
And I'm not getting into I'm trying to say we need people, all of these packages that passed in Washington passed bipartisan. I want to stress that. They passed bipartisan.
Well, this is an issue I think we're all trying to solve, and I want to get a few more questions
Sure,
in.
go ahead.
Sir, time flies. Time flies. So thank you, Sia, for that information about student loans. Hello to Forrest. Thank you so much to Donovan West, who's given all kinds of information. Kareem is here. Dwayne, Garris, Garland. Lots of business owners in here, sir. They all heard about it. Omar, we have Sam, we have Tiffany. Tiffany says, what about real estate investors in urban cities? Is there any support for them?
Well, look, there's all kinds of support. We are going to be, by sitting on the Ways and Means Committee, I deal a lot with the tax policy. And one of the things we're talking about with a colleague of mine's in Central Place, we're talking about a tax credit for people working in grocery stores, sort of like a tax holiday. Those people working in grocery stores, we're talking about that because they get a lot. So the fact of the matter is that we're looking at every aspect of how we can induce real estate.
So real estate could be in the future. It could be coming.
Exactly. It is one of those items that will be on the table, just like student debt will be on the table. And it's something that we need to do something about.
And I got some more questions for you, sir. So we're going to go through as many as we can.
Take your time. Take your time.
It says, what about, we have a question from Mariska. She says, if you haven't heard about your application for the PPP status, should you apply again?
No, it should be in the pipeline.
So if you apply, it's still in queue.
It should be in the pipeline, but Felicia gave you a number to contact. You can follow up with that. It's very important that we follow up on that. If it's not, Felicia can tell you can call us and we can follow up, and she'll tell you where you can check that out at. And my understanding, there will be, the federal income tax has been moved back to July the 15th, filing of the federal income tax. That's been moved back too. So it's important to understand there's been a lot of things they've done. I know it's an awful lot. I mean,
I want to just clarify. So if people already applied, then they're still in queue then?
They're still in queue, correct.
Yeah, because I understood it that the pipeline, the money just dried up and they didn't get to everybody. But if you were already in queue,
you held your place. Right.
Yeah, you're still in your spot. And, and then more people, you go to the end of the line if you're applying. And you hope it don't run out for you. Because this will probably run out too. I mean, keeping it real.
I agree. That's why I said to you, we've done about $700 billion in both. And I said to you, I thought it would take about $1 trillion to really move this, because what I keep stressing is the small businesses are extremely essential. I mean, they are look, I know Stephen Bradley, I know the African American Chamber, I know what they do, I know the value, all of it. And that's why I say thank you to all of them. Even though this is some rough time in what they do, they are extremely important to this city, state, and country.
Yeah, they are. And so economic, Jason Muhammad's in here. Thank you so much. Mariska, I hope we answered your question. Derek says, economic disaster program is pulling personal credit reports. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about that. Easily can call my office. I don't know that particular one.
If there's, I know the African American Chamber of Commerce is on here. If you know about I think we have some people from the SBA on here as well. If anybody could answer Derek's information, please respond. And Derek, inbox me. I'll try to get you that information. Or you can reach out to Felicia as well. Hey, Joanna McClinton, thank you so much for tuning in. According to the CDC, all other sources, based on the fact that more African Americans are being impacted by COVID-19 and more Blacks are affected by poverty, is there any funding specific to Black people? Can y'all do that? Can y'all do that?
Well, we did the set aside on businesses targeted towards minorities and targeted towards veterans. So we've done that on business. The reason I sent a letter to the governor, because the way it works, Cherri, is we're going to give the money to the state and to the cities. And basically, they will be the distributor of it. So one of the reasons I reached out to Steve Kinsey and Joy McClinton, I'm glad that she's a state legislator. She is the caucus chair of the Democratic Party. And I sent that letter on Friday outlining what was in the bill so that people could take advantage of. So I'm encouraging your state reps, your state senators. I spoke to Sherelle Parker, who's the majority leader of City Council, because the federal government passes it and they leave it up to the states and the local government to do the distribution, implement it, except for unless it's the Small Business Administration, less the CDFIs. But it's programs like yours, what you're doing, that you're raising the consciousness of people to take advantage of it. We encourage. Also, basically, Philadelphia Enterprise Center got almost about $250,000 today. And my understanding, they are responsible for working with people, training people. Temple Small Business Development Center also got something like $1 million. They're responsible. So Philadelphia Enterprise Center, which is Minority Business Development, Temple Small Business Development, you can go there and use those services. Those services are then to help you augment for things you may not be aware of. They are there to provide the kinds of support services that are important. But it's important that you communicate with my office and let us know how things are functioning. Jim Clyburn, who is the majority whip in South Carolina, will be in charge of a committee that has the oversight responsibility to see exactly how this money is being spent. Did it go to the people?
And so I want to stop you there and shout out to Steve and Sonny and Jordan Harris is in here, Barbara, Mal is in here, Vito, Sonny, like so many, Valerie, Mabel Ellis, Leanne, Shanine, Jayon, Barbara St. Lee. So many people. This was the big issue, Congressman, because money was just flowing out. People making hundreds of millions of dollars in a year were considered to be small business.
I'm glad you said.
But people are gonna be watching these dollars.
Correct. I'm glad you said like Jordan Harris. He's the minority whip of the Pennsylvania legislature, and Joy McClinton is the Democrat. So the way it works is we voted it in Washington. Harrisburg, the state government will do the distribution of a vast majority of money. The city of Philadelphia.
That's disaster money.
Exactly. That's disaster.
That's separate from the PPP, which you go to. Yeah.
Correct. But the point of it is, it's important that people know how the flow of money and come from small business administrations to banks, which is important, to CDFIs, to credit unions. There are a lot of different sources depending on where the source in terms of what you're applying for. So it is very important that people listening to you tonight and applauding with you, and you have a huge audience. Everybody who's on there, I would encourage people like Jordan and people like Joanne to raise, through their offices, both of them in the congressional district that I represent. We work together because that's how you do things. And by doing this program, we're raising the consciousness for everybody to take advantage. I encourage people to do that.
And I want people who are listening right now to share this, to tag a friend, because we need to flood the internet with positive, accurate information that can help our businesses, that can help folks who have jobs, that can help our nonprofits not just survive this COVID-19 new world that's being created, but to also thrive. And we should not be missing out on the type of resources, because we all put into this pot and we all gonna be paying back the debt. So y'all might as well make sure that our businesses take part of this. And so I want to say, they said my best friend just found out his dad contracted COVID-19 in a nursing home, is now in the hospital. It's starting to really take home. Yes, Vito, it's serious. Marcia, Dad, hello. Danielle, hello, Kazar, Melissa, Cecilia, Dodd, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. People got late. Dodd, you can still share this video. You can look back once the recording stops. It'll be available here. Black businesses will survive and overcome. That's what people are saying, Congressman. Correct. I know you agree. Huey Dillon is here, photographer in the area. He has a business. You know, Richard Dowdy. Lots of people are tuning in. Lots of folks applying. I want to know your questions. We have a lot of folks in here. Not a lot of questions today. A lot of folks getting their questions answered from some of the people online. And so this money, there's going to be more money to come. Who do you think is going to be left out this time? Or do you have any prediction? Are you guys going to keep big guys off of this pie?
Well, I agree. First thing is the intent of Congress was to target those barbershops, beauty salons, small. That's the first thing. Understand. So what we tried to do is to make some different adjustments. I laid out a letter about 71 members targeting the money specifically to the smaller business. And then on the other end, we're holding other people accountable. Like you saw with Ruth Chris, the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, we're becoming more aggressive on that. And that's why it's important.
People were shamed. They were shamed.
Yeah, exactly.
Shamed into giving out $70 million
back. Not to be taking advantage of the program. So I share with you that we are going to be on it every single day. And if people see things or hear things, bring it to our attention. The important part is if you see something, say something, right? See something, say something. That is important. And doing this program here with you is very, very important. And I'll be open to do it all the time because, I mean, we've never been through a pandemic. And it's not easy. And I know people wondering, when's the deadline? When can I stop getting being fever in the household or whatever? But there's a lot of people. There's people homeless. There's people in poverty who are out there. There's a lot of people we're trying to deal with. I was talking to the head of PHA today. We're talking about the need of testing people in public housing. There's a need to do some things in it. So I share with you that I've been working this 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, around the clock, that I've been trying to get across. Because just as you said about tagging and raising the consciousness of people to get them to understand. And we got to kind of go where people are. If they're not looking at, just use this method, whatever we use to get their awareness.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that speaking of PHA housing, $30 million was just injected into helping revitalize the Sharsworth Blumberg community. Everybody knows I've been covering PHA for years, and that's a nice injection of cash.
When
everybody's screaming broke, yeah.
I was very excited about that for all that they're doing. Thanks to working with the president of City Council and the mayor. $30 million. So that means there will be money to finish that project, around Ridge Avenue, over there, Vault School. I mean, there's a lot of things. So there's things happening, in spite of the challenges we have, we still got a lot in terms of the poverty. Because if you take the poverty and the pandemic and you put it on top, and particularly African-American communities, when you talk about blood pressure, diabetes, other kinds of social determining issues, these are real challenges. So this is not something we can do. That the PHA will leverage almost $200 million from that project. And I share with you, that's a whole rebuilding all along that particular area we've been working on.
It's been happening for a while. So I do have a question from Sonny. Sonny Bison says, does the EIDL have to be repaid? I don't know if you guys answered this or not, he stepped away. But I do know that with the PPP, it's correct. If you spend the money, 75% of it on payroll, it's
correct. Correct. That's extremely significant. Understand that. The idea is about keeping people working. And understand something, the Small Business Administration, and all those are good people, but they never had a situation like this. They normally get something like about $25 billion. I mean, you're talking about almost $700 billion that's going through that organization. And I know the regional director dealt with both of them right there. But it's something that we have tried to
And
work
your
together.
camera went out, sir. I think something hit your camera. I could hear you, but your camera went out.
Did it come back? There, go
back.
It's something that we have tried to, use all the tools that we have available, and that's why we encourage people to, stay involved and stay active and a lot. And I give credit to our African American churches.
Oh no, they've been on top of it. I want to
they've been they have.
Because we mentioned the PPP, but the disaster relief loan, part of that is forgivable as well.
Correct. That is forgive. So you see, because the whole idea is to get people and get more activity, but you got to take care of the health. This is something you got to have, and it's very important that we keep this together. I mean, just by doing what you're doing this evening, I'm telling you, this goes a long way, because we must communicate, we must talk to people, we must educate people, but we must test. That's what we must do.
And we have a small business owner ask this question. The new stimulus package, does it address independent contractors?
Yes.
And can they be counted as employees? So independent, Charlene Thorpe owns a law firm. She's like, because she has independent contractors. Are they?
The answer, it does address independent contractors. There's a specific section in there that talks about independent contractors. So the answer is yes, it does address independent contractors.
I know you got your PPP in, girl. Get done. Michelle Durham, Lieber's in here. Bertie Torres, thank you so much. Mona Martin, Alberta, thank you so much for tuning in. Another question, did the new stimulus package address, yes, we talked about independent contractors. A lot of people have lost friends and family this month. Condolences to everybody who lost somebody. Lots of folks sending condolences, lots of folks. Mona says, Congressman Evans, you always share good information. So shout out to you from Mona Martin.
Thank you.
Judith Robinson says, how many African-American contractors will benefit from the PHA funding? He says, how will you verify projects? I know this is not your wheelhouse per se, but is that something you've discussed about
yes.
making sure that minority contractors?
I have real faith in Mr. Jeremiah, who runs PHA, and know him very well. And I can assure you that that issue you raised, again, if we talk about uplifting the community, we can't talk about uplifting the community if we don't uplift the businesses in the Black community. We don't uplift people. We don't look at their health. I mean, this, from state elected officials to city elected officials, there must be, like never before, this kind of creativity. And I can't tell you it's going to happen overnight, but we're working on. And I think there are some things that we are moving. There's a lot of things I like to move. I mean, if I had the ability to write this bill, it probably would have been different than what it is. But the fact of the matter is, the bill's like a bridge. The bill's a bridge, because I think we got to do something about our school buildings. We got to do something about our water systems. I mean, we got to do something about our infrastructure, and that will generate jobs, but also that will grow the economy. And by me sitting on the Ways and Means Committee, it is always financed by the Ways and Means Committee, the oldest committee in the House of Representatives. That's where, and then being vice chair of the Small Business Committee puts me in a unique position. Correct. That's exactly it. But we can't have any longer, individuals talking about telling states they should go bankrupt, because that's counterproductive. I mean, there's Democrats and Republicans who don't agree with talking about states going bankrupt. I don't know what you accomplish by telling a state they should go bankrupt. So we got to keep pushing, and that's especially important in terms of getting across.
Now, someone said if they drive Uber and that was their main form of employment, can they apply as well?
It's interesting, called the gig economy.
Yes.
The gig economy, there was a section in there that specifically dealt with the gig economy. The employers, the people who were in the gig economy. You'd be surprised in this bill. We did a little bit for everybody. I mean, we didn't get to do everything everybody wanted, but we did. And like I said, there's still more work to do. I don't want to give anybody the impression that I'm like, when you talked about student debt, you talked about housing and you talked about apartment. There's some questions, some other areas we still got to do something. I'll be the first one to say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like clarity. Yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes. You said something, but this is a lot of gig economy in there. I love that. Can we hashtag that?
Yeah.
And to everybody who enjoyed this, because we're about to wrap up in the next couple minutes with Congressman Dwight Evans. If you got some good information, if you learned something, put a fist in the comments. Give him a hand clap and contact his people, y'all. Contact his people. So
they'll tell you, we work around the clock. I'm very proud of all the people who work there. I want them to be safe too and take care of themselves, as well as the grocery store.
Have you been working from home, sir? Have you been working?
Everybody's working from home. Sydney, I work like 7 days a week. We do that. But, we basically do it because we know what it is to service people. Yeah. And that's what we do. We're in the service business. We're in there trying to make a difference through this time. If it's no more than just listening to people, right? Yeah. Hearing what they have to say. And we may not have the answer for them in a particular situation, but we're at least listening to them. Yep. And we're trying to figure out, by listening to them, people give me input, and as we design the next package of bill. So I've heard people talk about student debt. Obviously, I heard people talk about landlords. I heard people talk about housing. I heard people talk, all those things, believe me, I take those things back, try to form alliances with other people and try to push those issues.
And we're going to go to the last couple questions because we're
Sure.
almost out of time. But I want to say thank you to Andrew Graham for being here, Cy Smith, Ardella's house is here, Zach James, Parla Marie, Mike Huff is in here. People said trust but verify. They're going to be calling you, sir. They trusting you, but they want to verify.
I don't mind. I accept that.
Yeah, and she says she wants to know, Charlena says, to be clear, she's not asking if independent contractors can apply for PPP. She wants to know if they can be counted as employees by the companies that hire them. So if a company has all independent contractors working for them, are those considered employees? And I might need to get some of my Chamber of Commerce people on here to answer that question. That's a very specific
That's a good question. I don't have that off the top of my head, but
yeah, that's
if anybody's on small business or in my office, they can track and find that out for you.
Yeah. And so Kyrie Terrell, business owner, Mike Holloway, Kimberly Turner Dixon, Tony Damon, all these. Thank you so much, y'all. Thank you to everybody. A lot of folks with hand claps for you. A lot of folks with fists saying they applied for this money. Everybody's saying thank you to everybody. We appreciate you. Jillian Patricia Pirtle, thank you so much. Congressman Evans, for all you continue to do. They will be contacting the office this week concerning the National Marian Anderson Museum and Historical Society. Everybody.
That's my place, the Marian Anderson Museum.
Beautiful gem.
I think very well of the Marian Anderson Museum and what it means. There's a number of my staff people call. I heard Kim Turner's the chief of staff, as well as Felicia. All of them are part of it. And you get to know those people because they're neighbors, they live in the community. It's a sport. But the Marian Anderson Museum, I know that extremely well, and what the value that brings, not just to South Philly, but through this nation, and what Marian Anderson meant to all of us.
I absolutely love it. And everybody knows I've been covering nonprofits. I cover mom and pop shops. I try to my best to be an equal opportunity reporter, get around and cover everybody because so many people are doing such good work. And so we have to be grateful, though, Congressman. We have to be grateful. I know there's a lot of sadness and a lot of fear and a lot of stress as we think about COVID-19. I mean, people have lost family members and friends. People have been sick themselves, but we have to find the silver lining and some sliver of gratitude. Sir, what are you grateful for?
I'm extremely grateful that I've had this opportunity to work for these people, for the people. I have had the chance, they have given me the chance to do what I do. I mean, I really enjoy this. I really love it. I enjoy trying to make a difference in everybody's life. You know, I ran on the basis of a simple phrase by a gentleman named Whitney Young, used to be head of the National Urban League. And he said, one person can make a difference. And I still live by that philosophy, that one person, no matter. And in a time like this, in this pandemic, I would encourage all of the people who have called in tonight that you have, I would encourage them to recognize we can't do this by ourselves. We can only do it unless everybody, so we can all make a difference, no matter who we are. We don't need a title. We don't need a position. People got kids, they got grandkids, they got whatever. And I feel extremely blessed because of my own family situation. My mother's still alive, but my grandmother's not, father's not. But the fact of the matter is I have 3 other brothers and 1 sister. And, you know, we talk and we do what we do, but we struggle at this. And I share with everybody who is listening, I encourage you to tag, to pass the word, to keep the faith.
Yes. And we need this video to get into the hands of our small businesses in Philadelphia and beyond. Because Congressman Evans works on the federal level. He's on the Ways and Means Committee. He's on the Small Business Committee. Vice Chair? What, Vice Chair over there?
Vice Chair, yes.
Vice Chair of the Small Business Committee. This is not just to Philly, y'all. This is information that is nationwide. So I got people in Philly. I got people in Boston, in Atlanta, in DC, in Houston, in LA. Share this. Chicago. Shout out to my Detroit folks. So share this. This was all applicable to you guys. The SBA is a national organization, okay? Disaster relief, national funding coming from our feds. There's also state and local funding that is available for you. And we have the African American Chamber of Commerce here. They are on the feed. I will be sharing in the post webinars that are coming up. The Business Center is having one on Thursday as well. Other organizations are trying to get you the information that you need and walk you through the process, because we don't just want to survive, my friends. We want to thrive, okay? So with that, I want to say thank you so much to Congressman Dwight Evans for being on Real Talk with Cherri. This is like very informal. It's real talk. I myself in my living room, because I'm social distancing, brother, you know. But I want to say thank you to you for always being supportive of me. It was a big deal to have you here on this live. And we're going to be sharing this video, sharing this information to as many people as we can. And thank you for coming to where the people are.
Thank you, Jay. And take care of yourself too, and health. And everybody else on there. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So I'm going to mute Congressman Dwight Evans. We'll see you soon. And again, I will post his feed. And he was amazing, guys. And I really do appreciate him for taking the time out. I'm going to bring another, I want to talk about, first of all, before we end this, I do want to kind of make sure you know that that we will have other folks, we'll be talking about testing tomorrow. So if you need a COVID-19 test, okay, remember that there is free testing tomorrow from 10 to 4 at Yesha Ministries. It's at 2300 Snyder Avenue. You can get tested for free. The Black Doctors COVID-19 Consortium. I've donated. You need to donate. We all need to donate and make sure these brothers and sisters who are out here trying to reach hard-hit communities have the support that they need to buy the materials, the PPE, whatever else they need to get it to the folks who need it. And I'm going to bring in Charlotte Greer-Brown in just a moment, because there's also a state of emergency town hall that is going to kick off for the next 3 days beginning tomorrow. And so shout out to her, because this is what is happening. Let me just give you some information on that. I'm moderating one of the panels on Wednesday, but the entire thing kicks off tomorrow. Now, it's put on by the Elite 30. It's Association and Coalition. It's not a nonprofit or a business. It's a coalition of folks. And I'm just going to bring her in right now and just say hello to her, bring her on the feed. And make sure your camera is on, Charlotte, so that I can bring you in to the live. Right now, all I can do is see your photo. So I need your camera to be working, sis. And so beginning tomorrow, there's going to be town halls. We're going to be bringing folks in. And so I want to tee it up and say hello to Charlotte Greer Brown. I just want to bring you in. Your camera is not on right now. Just make sure you bring it on. Here's her photo. It's a beautiful picture of her, but we need your camera to be working, sis. So just make sure you turn your camera on. Thank you so much for tuning in. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming on Real Talk with Cherri. And thank you for including me in the state of emergency town hall that kicks off tomorrow. It runs 2 days. I'm handing the floor over to you. Tell us about it and why you decided to put this together.
Okay, so thank you for having me. I'm going to be real brief. We have a lot to put into it. And again, thank you for hosting for Wednesday. So it's the Philadelphia State of Emergency, COVID-19, the public health crisis. Of course, you know that we believe COVID-19 is leading to a lot of the public health crisis that we're having in our community. And since we found out, not too long ago that it's disproportionately spreaded among the Black community, I thought maybe after watching P. Diddy's state of emergency on a celebrity level that we should do it in our communities. And I also urge other communities around the nation to do the same thing. So it's day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 1 is identifying the challenges around COVID-19 in the Black community and the aftermath, and we'll address the solutions on the 3rd day. The 2nd day is to get all of the experts. And what I mean by experts, people who are in their profession, who's dealing with the public and dealing with the Black community and the people that they serve. How will this impact them and affect them? So this is what I want to know from these leaders. And once we gather that, someone will be gathering the data. And the 3rd day, we'll be talking about how we can implement them. And there will be like 5 task force, community task force. One dealing with health and wellness, one dealing with families and seniors in the vulnerable community, the other dealing with land and property, the other one dealing with economics. So those implementations and of solutions will be filtered to those task force. And on May the 5th, we will come back again to the community to show them how we're going to work them. Simultaneously, while that is happening, we will be raising money to make sure that this money goes to all those demographics that I just mentioned. So that's
absolutely wonderful.
And it's going to take 3 months. But just to get the tip of the iceberg, it'll take 3 months. But we know it's going to take longer. But in order to get in there, and the reason why we don't want to recreate the wheel. So we know that there's grassroots organizations out there that's already doing the work, but we want them to continue to do it, but we want to do it together. So that's
what it is. And so people can register to be a part of this. I will make sure that there is a link in the post as soon as we can, but tell people where they can search to find this.
So they can, there's 2 places you can go. You can either go to Facebook and you can type in the search box, Philadelphia State of Emergency. You don't even have to put in the Black community and it should come up. And it's there on Facebook under the events. Or you could go to Eventbrite and type in the same thing, Philadelphia State of Emergency, and it'll come up again. So, I mean, it's there. It's everywhere.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. And tell us what you're grateful for, ma'am.
Say again?
Tell us what you're grateful for.
Oh, I am so grateful that I am able to mingle with people on social media digitally. I'm grateful that I'm able to connect with people from all over, and I'm grateful that most people that I know are good health and they're alive. And for the ones that are not living, I'm grateful that I'm able to give them some love and some positive words, or maybe just an ear.
Yes. Well, with Charlotte Greer Brown, thank you so much. And to the Elite 30 Association, congratulations on everything you're doing. I'm so excited to be a part of it on Wednesday. A lot of amazing people are a part of this. all ages and all different disciplines. And so we will be sharing more information to you. We're about to wrap up. So I want to say thank you so much, Charlotte, for being here today, for being a part of this, and for sharing this information. And like I said, I will be updating my post to include a link so you guys can register. But again, you can find it on Facebook by searching Philadelphia State of Emergency. You can go to Eventbrite and search Philadelphia State of Emergency and register and be a part of this beginning tomorrow evening. Thank you so much, Charlotte.
Thank you for having me. Good night.
All right, love. Bye. Bye. And so, guys, I'm going to wrap up now and just say thank you to Charlotte. Thank you so much to Congressman Dwight Evans for being a part of this. Hope you guys come and be a part of tomorrow's State of Emergency Town Hall Summit that was organized by the Elite 30 Association. Thank you, Charlotte Brown, for including me into that. And so, again, if you want to get COVID-19 tested, there's free testing happening tomorrow at Yesha Ministries at 2301 Snyder Avenue. And I tell you, people have been emailing me information, asking me where they are, where it is, and I'll respond back to these emails. But please tag a friend and share this video. I want to grow a community of folks who are informed. I want to grow a community of folks who are beyond woke. They know what the resources are. They know how to say, sis, bruh, let me tell you where to go. Don't get your paper, get your stuff together. Go to these seminars, go to these webinars. Let's get our stuff together, y'all, because there is no reason, absolutely no reason we always have to be last. A lot of times there's so much misinformation that goes into our community, and I believe in a lot of ways that it is done on purpose. It is helpful to others that we are left wondering what the hell happened. And this is our opportunity to be ahead of the curve. This is our opportunity to get our paperwork in, to understand what's happening. And when this new world is built on the other side, we have had a say. When these structures are dismantled and rebuilt to be more fair, we have had a say. And so that is why Real Talk with Cherri is here. I will be bringing leaders to you. They always won't be politicians. Sometimes they're going to be leaders in various areas. Tomorrow, I have Ray Gordon on. He is a comedian. We're going to be talking about entertainment. When your business is a crowd, what do you do when the crowds are gone? How do you transform your business? How do you transform your life to innovate, to be better, to become whatever you need to become, to not just survive, but to thrive? And that is my goal here tonight, y'all. That is my goal. We are finding hope in this COVID-19 world. We are rebuilding a new world. We are transforming ourselves to become whatever we need to do, to not just survive, but again, to thrive. And there's no reason why we can't be a part of that. I need for all of us to be creative, to think different, to know that things are never going to be the way that they were, but that is okay. We can release that. We mourned it already. It's been 6 weeks. It's now time to move forward into this new world. My condolences again to the people who have lost lives. My positive vibes of health and love to those who have survived and their bodies were racked with this COVID-19. I'm so happy you are here. Later this week, you will hear from survivors of this. We will talk about why social distancing ought to be followed. We will give you good information. And then I got other stuff set up for you next week. But every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7:30 p.m., I will be here on Facebook Live. This is my gift to the community. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm doing this because I love people, because I love my people, because I want the people who are typically left out of the conversation to be included in the conversation. I cover vulnerable communities, women, disabled, LGBTQ, Black, Hispanic, immigrant, people left out, the incarcerated, okay? Those who lack access, that's what I cover. And this is our time, y'all, to step it up. This is our time to be a part of something. And if you have a talent, if you have a skill, use it to help people. My mama always says, use your power to help people. And that's what this is about. This is what I'm here. This is my purpose in life. This is not about likes. This is not about whatever. This is about feeding the community with good, accurate information. so that people know you do not inhale Clorox. You do not put Lysol in your humidifier, okay? So we have to do our jobs as people to make sure that the right information gets filtered in and not all these conspiracy theories and inaccuracies. So as I wrap up, the way you can support me is keeping me in my job and employed at KYW, because that means I have the time and the resources to be able to come to you with this. You can do that by subscribing to the Flashpoint podcast, rating and reviewing the podcast. And that is available at kywnewsradio.com/flashpoint. Click on there. Follow me on Twitter at Cherri Gregg. The show is at Flashpoint Show. You can also follow me at Instagram. You can go on all podcast platforms. All you got to do is search Flashpoint. My face will pop up. Hit the subscribe button. Listen to it. I have some great interviews coming up. We did an interview with Jazzy Jeff. That was a Flashpoint extra. You can also go and subscribe to my YouTube page. That full video interview is available. And let me tell you, this brother bared his soul, said that he was almost like thought he was going to die, but he did not. And so he made it. He tells his recovery story. So please subscribe. Please check out stories. If you see them, share them. Share this video, tag a friend. And I just want to say I'm grateful to all the people who've come to me with their stories. I'm grateful to everybody who tags me on posts and says, Cherri, did you hear about this man? Cherri, did you hear about this organization? Cherri, like, bring a camera down here, bring a mic down here. Did you know that this person is doing some good work? Did you know that this was happening to these families? Thank you for being my eyes and my ears in the community, because if I do community affairs, I can't be everywhere. But you guys in South Jersey, in the counties, in North Philly, West Philly, South Philly, Center City, everywhere, Northeast, Northwest, thank you guys for all that you do. And with this, I'm going to log out. I hope you enjoyed this information with Congressman Dwight Evans. It was solid, good information. Please share this with your friends. Put this on your Facebook page. Tag any business owners you know. Put it in the group chats with any business folks. This will appear on YouTube as well. I'm building up everything. So thank you guys and have a wonderful night. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. If you like, I like to wrap things up by in your comments, put one thing you are grateful for. And if everybody want to put in there, panic and misinformation is dangerous. So I love real facts to help. Yes, she is absolutely. Oh, thank you so much, Yafet. Yes, this is the time. Yes, everybody's talking. Yes, absolutely. Morgan Wilson is here. Thank you so much, Morgan, for being in here. Everybody, Robert Bell, Kay Czar, so much, Marion, Phoebe Coles, everybody who tuned in. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to give you good information. Thank you to Kim. Thank you to Charlene. And that's been my girl from like law days back in the ATL. Thank you so much to Kimberly, to my brother, everybody who supports. I really appreciate you guys, because I don't have tens of thousands of followers. I never was a big social media person. I was all about community and all about doing the work, being very grassroots. But now I'm realizing that I need to go wherever the people are and make sure that people have the information that they need, because there's so much misinformation. And I'm telling you this from my heart. This is not scripted. This is not whatever. This is just, I'm really shocked at how much misinformation our folk have. And I feel like I got to do my part or whatever to make sure that at least I counter that with something accurate. So if you could share this video, tag a friend, help us get as many shares as possible. I'll be back tomorrow with Ray Gordon. He'll be talking about the entertainment industry, how it's impacting comedians, how it's impacting musicians, how it's impacting so many who rely on crowds to make a living, how COVID-19 is forcing them to be more innovative. And hopefully you guys will laugh a little bit, because he's hilarious and cool. And so there you go. And so I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30. Tag a friend, let me know. And shout out to Hania Sharp Brown for making that wonderful flyer for me. It's dope. I was real raggedy with my flyers on Instagram and all that, but she put that together for me, and in just a short period of time. And I shout out to her. That's my girl, and I really appreciate her. She's always had my back. So with that, y'all have a good night, and spend some time with your family. Love and light to everybody. Take care.